Hello everyone, I am going to tell a story about a man named Kurt who tried for many years to become famous online and who went through a long journey that changed everything. Please note that the story contains violence and I will tell it plainly using simple words, focusing on clear description so you can follow every event as if you watch a movie in your mind. Kurt lived with his mother for a long time because his parents had separated many years before. His father, Chris, was a DJ who had divorced Kurt's mother. The divorce upset his mother, and Kurt felt he must help her. He did small jobs, for example, he babysat children to earn money, and he lived at home, caring for his mother when he could. He started an online channel called Kurt's World 96, where he tried many ideas. He made videos of different kinds, for example, Draw My Life, where he drew pictures and told his personal history. He posted gaming videos, he did reviews of shoes, and sometimes he even talked about his favorite keyboard shortcuts. He hoped that by sharing many things, he would find an audience who would watch and support him. Over many years, he recorded a lot of videos, but his viewer count stayed very low. His numbers never reached even 10 viewers at a time. He felt frustrated because he worked hard, but he did not get a loyal audience. In contrast, there was another person named Bobby, who was a kid that Kurt had once babysat. Bobby grew up and became a famous influencer on a channel called Bobby Basecamp. Kurt saw Bobby as a friend because they had known each other for years, but Bobby did not treat him as a real friend. He tolerated Kurt's presence, but kept him away from his camera. Whenever Kurt tried to be in Bobby's videos, Bobby pushed him aside or ignored him. This hurt Kurt's feelings because he longed for friendship and for support in his online efforts. After about 10 years of trying to stream and post videos, Kurt reached a point where he felt broken inside. He decided to try one final idea for his channel. He called it The Lesson. The plan was to show people how to gain an online following by example, by doing dramatic things and by documenting every moment. He thought that if he could make content shocking enough, more people would watch him. He believed that fame would come if he pushed boundaries. He prepared his car for this plan, fitting it with many cameras inside and outside, and storing many bottles of water. He said to the camera that the first part of the lesson was to record everything, because if you do not record, you do not exist online. He arranged his car so that cameras pointed at him, at the road, and at the back seats. He wanted to document everything in real time, live streaming whenever possible. He decided to work as a driver for a rideshare service called Spree. He thought that each ride could be content. The first passenger he picked up was a man who refused to wear a seatbelt and looked at the cameras with distrust. Kurt told him that the cameras were only for safety, to protect both of them, and to record evidence if needed. The man began to talk about hateful ideas, praising white supremacy, and using racist language. Kurt felt uneasy because he knew this could hurt his audience if the man's words went online. But he decided to use this tension as part of his plan. He started to drive faster, taking risks on the road, hoping to produce dramatic footage. The man complained about the reckless driving, but Kurt offered him free bottled water. The man drank from the bottle, not knowing what Kurt had done. Behind the scenes, Kurt had prepared water that he said was poisoned, following a tutorial he had made earlier about how to poison water without being detected. Soon the man in the back seat began to choke, coughing and gasping for air. Kurt sped through a stop sign, and the man died in the back seat while the cameras recorded every moment. Kurt's only viewer at that time was Bobby, who watched the live stream and thought this was an act, a prank made for views. Kurt felt okay with that because part of the lesson was to make things look fake at first, so viewers would not suspect the truth. He believed that repeating this for many victims before anyone caught on would build a large following later. After the first kill, Kurt's next passenger was a real estate agent, a woman who spoke in a sharp tone. She left her real estate sign in the trunk when she got in. During the ride, Kurt gave her water, and they chatted a bit about houses and neighborhoods. Then she reached for a bottle of water by her own choice. Shortly after drinking, she fell ill, and Kurt pulled over to film her collapse. He went to the back seat, showed her body clearly to the camera, and even joked about drinking the water himself. At that moment, his father Chris called, asking for a ride. Kurt ignored the call and hung up. Then he covered his tracks by unlocking the woman's phone using facial recognition, since her face was lifeless. He gave himself a 5-star rating on the rideshare app using her account and he replied to a message on her phone with a rude reply, making sure people would not wait for her at a meeting. After disposing of her body in a planned way, he cleaned the car and prepared for the next ride. The third passenger was a man named Mario, who was muscular and rude. Kurt tried to play his own music during the ride, but Mario complained and refused to touch the free water this time. Then Kurt decided to detour to pick up another passenger, ignoring Mario's complaints because Mario had chosen a pooled ride option. The new passenger was Jessie, a well-known influencer and stand-up comedian. When Jessie saw Mario hitting on her with inappropriate comments, she canceled the ride immediately and walked away. Mario insisted that Kurt follow her, and Kurt offered to drive her for free just to have content and possibly learn from her success. As they drove, Kurt asked Jessie how she had built her huge following. She said she was simply funny and genuine, connecting with people in her own way. Kurt kept asking for advice, while Mario kept making rude remarks. Jessie recorded the conversation on her phone to post on social media, showing their bad behavior. She left when she felt sick of being harassed. Kurt was upset to lose a chance to connect with Jessie, a real successful influencer. He changed his route suddenly, taking Mario to a remote construction site. Mario began to feel sick because of the fast driving and the rough roads. Kurt told him to get out of the car to avoid messing up the seats. Mario complained but got out to relieve himself. At that moment, Kurt played his own song loudly and drove at high speed, crashing into Mario, causing a violent death scene that the cameras captured from a perfect angle. After dumping the body and cleaning the car, Kurt watched Jessie's social media and saw she had a show that night. He thought it was a sign, like two big events happening on the same night. Her show and his dramatic ride content. Kurt still had only single-digit viewers, and Bobby was his only tipper. But Bobby thought the murders were fake pranks. Bobby himself was a fake creator who staged fake help for homeless people. In contrast, Jessie was genuine and relatable, and people liked her for that. Kurt stopped at a gas station to clean up and refuel. He argued with Bobby on the phone because Bobby said Kurt's content was boring and needed more excitement. Kurt then tried to spice up the next ride. He picked up 3 socialites named Richard, Kendra, and London. At first, Richard and Kendra were scared by Kurt's wild driving, but London was excited, feeling it was an adventure. She moved to the front seat to chat with Kurt. He drove off route to a junkyard, telling Richard and Kendra they could hang out of the sunroof for a good view for social media pictures. They agreed and seemed to have fun for a moment, but then Kurt closed the sunroof suddenly, trapping them inside. He played his song in the background while driving faster. Wild dogs from the junkyard jumped on Richard and Kendra, biting them, and Kurt used a power drill from his car to kill London. He filmed every moment. After this triple kill, he took his car to a car wash to remove blood and evidence. He called Bobby for his opinion, but Bobby had stopped watching because he was not interested. Kurt demanded to know why Bobby had not promoted him as promised. Bobby told Kurt to be more like Jessie, someone authentic. Jealous, Kurt checked Jessie's socials again and left bitter comments about how she filmed stories wrong. He drove to a suburban house, upset and angry. Meanwhile, Jessie posted the video she recorded earlier, exposing Mario in one of Kurt's rides. She then visited her grandmother, caring for her and recording for her social media. Suddenly, someone rang the doorbell. Jessie worried because they were not expecting anyone. It was Mike, a fellow comedian who wanted to discuss work. In another location, Kurt went to Bobby's house, filming everything, and Bobby told him to go away because they were not real friends. This was on camera and Bobby's fans saw it. They went to watch Kurt's stream to see the other side of the argument. Kurt felt humiliated and suddenly stabbed Bobby during the live stream, hoping this would boost viewers. Bobby tried to defend himself with a gun, but Kurt killed him. His audience thought it was fake, so Kurt reached double-digit viewers for the first time. He then jumped into triple digits by streaming on Bobby's channel feed, and even recorded himself showering to wash off the blood and going through Bobby's things. While Kurt was doing this, his father Chris texted asking for a ride to a gig. Kurt hesitated because he planned to go to Jessie's show that night. But when Chris mentioned he would meet a famous DJ, and that name was recognized by Kurt's chat, Kurt accepted. He picked up Chris, and their father-son talk was awkward. They argued when Chris found Bobby's gun in the car. They hid the gun quickly when they saw police nearby. They reached the club and met a famous DJ named Uno. Kurt asked Uno to tag his channel in a post. At first she refused, then agreed if Kurt drove her to a taco truck. They drove and Kurt scared people in the taco line by telling disgusting stories so Uno would wait less time. Uno found the gun in Kurt's car and used it as a prop for selfies. She drank water from a bottle Kurt offered, but this was a poisoned brew. She passed out. Kurt returned with food to find her body and disposed of the bottle. The police arrived and asked Kurt to do a field sobriety test, while Kurt pretended Uno was just sleeping. Suddenly, Uno woke, panicked, and shot a police officer, then ran away. One officer chased her. Kurt used the chance to escape in his car. All of this was live streamed and his viewers reached 5 digits. Kurt tried to lose the police by reckless driving. He crashed into a homeless camp, killing some people on purpose, and his car flipped. Meanwhile, Jessie was at her show with Mike, who kept bothering her. The audience loved her when she went on stage. Hidden in the crowd was Kurt with his gun. During her set, she spoke about her spree ride experience with Mario and Kurt, saying that chasing social media fame can hurt people and that happiness is not in numbers. She ended her set by smashing her phone on stage, ending her need for social media. The audience was shocked and impressed. Kurt heard this and felt moved, deciding not to cause more chaos that night. But he learned that spree service was suspended because of his murders. He used another app called GoGo and entered a driver's car driven by David, who joked about safe driving. Kurt took it personally and killed David quickly. Back in the bar, Jessie was tired of Mike recording her. She called GoGo to leave. The driver who arrived was Kurt. He revealed he was the same driver who killed David. He told her he had been at her show and knew she had no phone to call for help. He offered to take her to his home, saying they could share love instead of hate. Jessie fought back, using a charger cord to strangle him until the car crashed. Kurt hit her and knocked her out, then drove to his front yard and dragged her body into the headlights. He polled his live audience on what to do next, and viewers told him to kill her. As he prepared to run her down, he paused to adjust a fallen camera. Jessie used the chance to get into the driver's seat and ran Kurt down, but lost control and crashed through his house's wall. Kurt dodged the car and tried to kill her by pushing her face into the airbag. Jessie fought and knocked him out. Then the live stream showed her asking for help while Kurt fled into another room. She told viewers it was real. Chris arrived, found the house destroyed, and Kurt's mother dead on the floor. It was revealed that Kurt had killed his mother before starting the lesson. Kurt came out, grabbed Bobby's gun, and shot his father, Chris, killing him. Jessie tried to escape in the car, but reversing was blocked, so she went forward and crushed Kurt against the wall. The chat told her to check if Kurt was dead. She found he was alive and finished him by smashing his head with her phone. A flashback showed Kurt feeling proud earlier when he had 50,000 live viewers. The chat asked for a selfie with Kurt's body, and Jessie took the selfie. In the following days, Kurt's crimes became viral news. Jessie rose in fame as a multimedia star. Kurt was hated by most, but some dark corners of the internet praised him. Discussion forums began working on making a movie about him called Spree. This is the end of the story. The story shows how a person's desire for fame led him to terrible acts. It shows contrast between fake creators and genuine influencers. It also shows how chasing numbers can warp judgment. I hope this helps for your video. Subscribe. Join next time for another story that makes you think and feel. Until then, stay curious and stay safe.